So this weekend, this Saturday, I almost said Sunday, this Saturday, 8:15, the Dolphins going up to Buffalo. 2-game losing streak. Tua gets to go with his noodle arm into the cold. Maybe. Yeah, I had to bring noodle.
No, you did not. You did not have to say that.
No, that is true because honestly, the last 2 weeks, Tua has looked
pretty bad.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Tua has looked.
Wait, let me introduce still. Let me do my thing. Okay. So, yes, we are on a 2-game losing streak. We're going to Buffalo, to Detroit, maybe. Like, kind of hoping we speak that into existence, even though it's the day before and we probably would have heard about it by now. So it's probably not going to happen. But a lot of snowfall projected in Buffalo, which is just fantastic for us. Dolphins, yeah, we played against arguably the best team in the league, the 49ers, which we saw play on Thursday Night Football. And then we played the Chargers, who are finally healthy. And now we get to play the Bills. And if I just got to say so myself, I don't feel good.
No, so obviously coming off the last 2 games, the offense has failed to really adjust to what the defenses were doing. Now the 49ers game, Tua was just off. Like if you watch the film, he was off. He had miscommunications with his wide receivers. It was a completely different scenario against the Chargers. The Chargers had an elite defensive game plan for that game and just threw off our entire game plan, and we had no answer for it. We did not come back, and we did not adjust properly. And one thing that in my film review I pointed out that Tua needed to do more was take his checkdowns. So you know how we kind of like were disappointed in ourselves when we were watching the Saints game last year?
Oh yeah, big time.
Because we were like, okay, good Tua, you took the check down because nothing was there.
We celebrated checkdowns so hard. You should have seen us. It was different. So immediately as soon as the game ended, we were like, oh.
Yeah. But the thing is that the last 2 games could have used more checkdowns.
No, yeah.
Tua wasn't taking his checkdowns. He was forcing the ball. Now, given it was accurate throws, but when there's such good coverage on those, when you have someone on top of you like this,
do it again.
You have someone on top of you like this. The ball's not going to be caught. Now, they were passing.
That was what the 3 of us, including Adam, were like on Sunday.
So, they were pass interfering. However, it wasn't being called all game for either side. So, if they're not calling that, why continue to try and get that call?
I don't think it was... Okay, I understand what you're saying. I think it was more illegal contact. It was usually before the ball was thrown.
There was the illegal contact is within 5 yards, and they stayed decent. I mean, sometimes it was between like the 5.5 to 6. So that I'm not really going to argue about. But they did get there early a couple times on the receivers, and they weren't called. But they weren't called all game. If you can't adjust to that, that's on you. And what they didn't do is have anybody run underneath and expose them. Both the 49ers game and the 49ers and San Francisco, 49ers and Chargers games, they didn't have any running back up in the middle of the field short. They took away everything within 10 to 15 yards, which is where we've been living all season long, and they haven't been able to. The last 2 weeks they haven't been able to get those throws. So I want them to hit the checkdowns, and by how Tua and McDaniel were talking the last couple of days during the press conferences, I think it's going to be a lot of checkdowns to Mostert and maybe Ahmed this game.
They definitely need to keep the defense honest, if nothing else, because the defenses have now realized all you have to do is play a cover 2 and play the linebackers a little further back than you normally would, and that really takes away a lot of what the Dolphins do. Tua has hit over the middle of the field 15, 25 yards a lot this year. That's where we've lived, and there's been drives where 4 plays, next thing you know, we're in the red zone, and none of them were like that outrageous of big plays. No, they just walked their way downfield, eating the middle of the field. And because the linebackers have now been playing a lot further back against the last 2 teams we've played, you definitely have to hit the check down. Like that's what Josh Allen does with Singletary all the time. He scans the field, and everybody just ignores Evan Singletary, and they're like, okay, we'll take a 8-yard pass gain.
Exactly.
We'll take it. Exactly. So the Dolphins do. We're not going to get into it too much. I definitely came away from that game really concerned about Tua and just what happens when he does play. I was very concerned about Tua, about what happens when we do play those better defenses. Joe, as I was going to say non-biased. You were definitely biased because as you're a Jets fan.
Yes.
Okay. So just rolling that off the tongue.
Yeah.
As a Jets fan, though, what have you've seen Tua play? You didn't get to see him play against you. You've seen Tua play now. He's looked great in games, and then we saw him play bad. As a Jets fan, what is just your overview of who Tua is now in his career?
I think Tua has obviously the weapons now to become a very good quarterback still. I mean, again, I'm biased of Tua. I just never really liked him out of college. I preferred Jalen Hurts, but Tua has the weapons to prove himself this year, and he has. Even though I'm still biased of the Dolphins, I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's okay.
But the last 2 weeks really showed how much you take away the specialty of just the middle of the field for Tua, because that's honestly the most accurate ball he could throw. How average to below average he could become when it's nothing over the middle and it's just little checkdowns. Because I feel like his first couple reads are just not there over the middle of the field, so he flusters in his head and he has to make that quick check down or pressure's coming. He's got to roll out. It's just, I think the Bills this week are going to do the exact same thing, and I think you probably will struggle again. Plus, the snow is going to even make it worse. But honestly, all in all, Tua has looked really good this year, though.
He has. And I made a video on Monday. And based on the response, I think it was a very object. Now, Sunday night, I was definitely an emotional wreck. Like, that was just not fun. But on Monday, I think pretty much everything I said was true and valid. He does have his limitations. He does, and it hasn't hurt the team this year a lot, but it hasn't elevated the team. It has been, he has been very much helped out by the system. He's been helped by the weapons. That's okay. You can win with that. The 49ers are doing that exact same thing with Brock Purdy, and they could easily win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. You can win like that with that type of quarterback. As long as you know that's who your quarterback is. Your quarterback isn't the type of guy to make those athletic plays, which he's not. And as long as we know that, that's okay. Now we need to find a way that these other teams have figured out what to take away from the Miami Dolphins. They've figured out that the middle of the field, further down than the sticks, is where the Dolphins like to live. Now it's all about how are the Dolphins able to pivot now that teams are figuring out what Tua in this offense is going to do.
So, going back to like you guys have been saying, they took away the middle of the field, yeah, but the Dolphins didn't really adjust. They didn't try to go to, for what the last 2 years, Tua hasn't been able to. Remember, last year, my concern with Tua is that he sailed almost every ball he threw over the middle of the field. Now, this year, that's where he's lived. He was able to throw accurate balls to the outside with both Parker and Gesicki last year. Yes, he was. Go watch the tape.
Go ahead. Keep going.
So, anyways, don't give me that damn look. So, Tua can make the outside throws. Now, one thing, like I keep saying, is that if the check down is there and the check down is open and nothing is really open downfield, take the check down. Like, for example, on the Waddle incompletion that was on third down that ended up leading to their long 9-minute drive that pretty much killed any chance that we have of winning that game, was he had a check down to his left that would have easily gone for 10 yards to get us the first down. But he wanted to go and get the one-on-one matchup he had with Waddle. Now Waddle lost the ball in the lights. And
yeah, that happened a few times.
Yeah, with the Tyreek throw as well. But it's instances like that, like the first down's more important than the big play. Hit that guy for the first down. He didn't even bother looking anywhere else. He just immediately chucked that ball up for Waddle.
Yeah. That's definitely fair to come away from the game. But now let's actually speak about what we're here to speak about. Buffalo. What Buffalo offers as a team as a whole, and it's not just Tua against the Bills. It's a lot more than that. Mm-hmm. And something that I know you hate, but it actually worked, was the bend don't break. I know how much you can't stand that attitude.
Can't stand it.
But that is exactly what won us the game against the Bills. The Bills outgained us. They had way more first downs. They had way more play. They everything they had more of, other than literally everything except points. They did better than us because the defense was bending, not breaking. Now, when you win, it's great. When you lose, you want to bash your head into this glass. It's an agonizing thing. It's like bend don't break. Well, we broke. Okay, we broke. Josh Allen, he's still playing a bit hurt. The passing game has fallen off in the second half of the season. We're very beat up in the secondary. Mm-hmm. If there's anywhere for them to be weak, for us to be able to take advantage of, it is the fact that it has been harder for Josh Allen to throw the ball. So that does give me a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, but it's also so both run defenses are really good, and I think now going into a snow game, that's what's really going to be important. They have been able to run the ball a lot better this year than they have in the past couple years. In part, I would think because James Cook has really come alive this second half of the season so
Except for
far.
when I started him in fantasy last week.
I mean, that's against the Jets defense. That's your own fault.
It was either that or Cam Akers, and Cam Akers actually ended up being better.
I would have started Cam Akers.
9 points or 3 points. Yeah.
9.
I still.
So, anyways, back to it. Both of these run defenses are really good. Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, absolutely dominant for the Dolphins.
I swear to God.
Hey,
Bro,
Joe, who's better, Zealer or
Bro, I said Quinn Williams is better, but to say that they're not in the same tier is just false.
You lose your credibility more and more by the day.
I'm gonna let you talk because if I ask any other Dolphin fan, and they're true,
Quinn Williams is a better pass rusher, but he's not as good as run stopping as Zach Sealer is.
Okay.
Bro, do you see Zach Sealer? Just
No, I don't. I really don't.
Throw friggin' Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the game. Look,
You can't-
Look. I'm not saying
saying he's better.
Okay,
You
anyways.
can't put him at the same tier.
He's not in the same tier. Quinn Williams is a top 5, top 7 defensive tackle, unless you're
And Zach Sealer somewhere
Really?
between 10 and 12.
No. What?
I can name.
No, he's not. I can name probably 20 that are better. I like Zach Sealer, but he's a backup defensive tackle. He's a second string defensive tackle, and that's okay.
You can put Quinn Williams and Christian
He's
Wilkins in
not-
the same tier.
He's not a second string defensive tackle. He's a starting defensive
He's
tackle.
the second best defensive tackle on the team. That's the
He's
second.
second best defensive tackle on a team that plays at 4-3.
The Jets play 4-3.
You're not.
Bryce Huff is better than him, and he plays edge rusher.
Bro, get out of here.
Who?
Bryce Huff.
Exactly.
He's the highest. I'm not gonna do that.
Anyways,
Zealer is definitely
but
not even close to Quinn Williams. Go ahead.
he's close to Quinn Williams. Quinn Williams still better. Anyways, Dolphins run defense with Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer just absolutely have been dominant against the run this year. And that is not wrong, so neither of you guys can give me looks.
The Bills run. Both teams run defense is great, and both teams run offense is atrocious.
Now, yeah, well, the Bills have had a better rushing offense, mostly because of Josh Allen.
That's not a rushing offense. That's your quarterback's just an ungodly player.
But even their running backs have had more success than our running backs.
It's not saying much.
It's not saying
they have, but it ain't saying much.
It's not saying much. Now, this will come down to the run game, I believe. I think it will come down to the run game. Whoever is able to get the run game going. Now, I think so. Defensive back.
A little smirk makes me scared about what's about to come out of your mouth.
So the Dolphins are playing it all white. Now, if it is heavy snow, what are you looking at?
I was hitting something. I wasn't sure if it was you or not.
The Dolphins are wearing all white now. If it's supposed to be if it's heavy snow like it's supposed to be, that could be a slight advantage for the Dolphins defense, slight disadvantage for the Dolphins offense.
Bro, Tua's gonna be lost out there.
No, he's not.
He's gonna be like, is that Tyreek?
See,
I got a fan in row 2.
I think that's more of a. I think it's more of an advantage for the Dolphins defense than it is a disadvantage for the Dolphins offense.
I think it's
because the Dolphins offense, Tua doesn't even have to look at you half the time. It's all based on timing and anticipation. So unless they absolutely just have the same exact game plan as the Chargers, which is just absolutely hold Tyreek Hill all day long.
Can we be honest though? We are concerned about his arm strength in a snow. And if it's snowing, I'm very concerned. I'm concerned about his overthinking on the long ball. Like for example, the windy game against the it was against the Bears where he misinterpreted the wind really badly. I want to lose my mind. That was fantasy points.
He misinterpreted the wind really badly. He overthought the wind there.
He better wear a glove. Oh dear God! If it's snowing, he better wear a glove.
Dude, this isn't the rain. The ball's not going to be slippery. It's going to be cold.
Snow? You know snow is water, right?
You understand snow is frozen water.
It's still water. It gets on the ball. It gets wet. Have you ever even been in snow?
Yes.
I don't know if I believe you.
No.
Yeah, I have. I've snowboarded. Trust me, I've fallen. I felt very wet.
Anyways, this is not. I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue as it was with the Titans game. And I don't. What?
It's going to be snowing and windy.
Is this Tua's first snow game?
In the NFL, yes.
Honestly, it might be. No, in general, yes.
He played in Alabama snow.
Not in a game, though.
And then he also threw
not in a game.
In Alabama snow?
They did not play.
He did not play in a snow game in Alabama?
I've never seen an Alabama snow game ever.
I'm only asking because I know it's.
I generally don't know. I thought he did.
No.
Anyways, but he did. Now live game. He did not throw in the snow, but he did throw this offseason in Maryland with his brother, when it was snowy and windy, and he didn't have an issue with the ball. Now,
you just made that up. You have no idea if he had an issue or not. They didn't report on that.
He literally just said it in the press conference.
But
he's saying now. That's why I said it kind of like mellow. Is because I don't know if that's exactly 100%.
Yeah, I had a great time. I hit the tree over there.
Now he said.
That just for the clarify, I'm not a Tua hater. I think I'm a Tua real. I think myself as a bridge between the people that think he's going to carry us to a Super Bowl on his back, and also the people that think he sucks. I like to think I'm somebody who yes.
Okay, because so I just keep the middle. The middle is here.
Is me.
The middle is here.
Is me.
He is way over there.
You just made that up. You just made that up. That's complete bull. Good.
Look, the line is here. This man was here. This is the line.
That's where
he was here.
That's where I'm at.
He was here.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. Because
I'm slightly over here. Oh, this man's way over here.
Joe, you're watching. You've seen us.
I watched the tape. Neither of you two watch tape.
Joe.
Neither of these two watch tape.
All right, is your name Joe? Joe, come on.
He's a Jets fan. He's gonna say he sucks.
I just never liked him out of college. That's just facts.
No, but listening to him and I talk. He's
told me there's times instances where you do love think Tua is gonna go off the moon, but there's other times where he do take it back. You're like, Tua's good, but if there's times where I think
I'm realist. I've been calling it how I've seen it. When Tua's playing well, I've been Mr. Stick my chest out. I was chanting MVP at the game. You bet I was chanting MVP. You did tell me last week MVP
for Tua.
I guarantee you go to the game against Green Bay, even coming off a loss, if he's being shouted MVP again, I guarantee you're cheering with them.
Of course I am. Wait, why is that?
That's just a fan thing to do. That's not even if they lose this weekend, you're still going to be doing that. That's just a fan thing to do.
No, but again, you said he's closer to Herbert than he is Dak Prescott.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, that just shows you everything you have to know.
No,
him, Dak, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins are all in the same class.
Absolutely not. Look, the quarterbacks.
Joe, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'll tell you the quarterbacks right now.
Camera's on Joe. Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, all in the same category.
No,
probably. I think Dak's obviously the one higher than all of them.
Even Tua?
No.
I think him and Tua are kind of like... I put Tua closer to Jimmy Garoppolo as a, more... No. Last year was a game manager. They're on that... Obviously, this year's different.
Me and Adam went through the tiers of quarterbacks yesterday. The tier... B tier, we're looking at Kyler Murray. We're looking at Jalen Hurts. Lamar's between A and B.
You put Jalen in the B tier?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right now, so who's your A tier? I got to hear the A tier before I can say anything.
Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert...
Did you finally admit that Burrow's better than Herbert?
I think they're. If you argue Burrow, I can argue Herbert. I can live with that.
I just think Herbert has been without his receivers the past.
Yeah, I think
Herbert has definitely had the worst situation,
and he's never had a good coach in his life.
100%.
Except maybe his dad in high school.
So.
I think Sean Payton would be doing really good.
Dude, Sean Payton. I would love to see Herbert with a good coach, which is why I'm rooting for the Chargers to lose. Out in the playoffs.
That's not your only reason.
I mean,
Tua's better.
No, that's not it. That's not it. I literally have gone on record saying the only thing I would have Tua over Herbert, and literally Herbert can pass him with good coaching, is Tua under 2 minutes. That is literally.
Tua also has had Brian Flores.
But Tua's done that with Brian Flores.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's arguing on your side right now.
Thank you.
Don't
yeah.
No. I was saying Brian Flores.
You were just so right
now. We've seen Tua do it with Brian Flores with no weapons. We haven't seen Herbert do it with.
What you were about to say that you didn't actually say is you were going to say Tua is more clutch than Herbert.
But Herbert can easily can turn that around.
Herbert's also been throwing to DeAndre Carter.
Yes.
But he's making them throws. Not even just the season. Last season too.
Last season he played very good. Last
season he played really good, but he wasn't clutch.
I think
that's the reason. It's the reason he didn't go into the playoffs.
I don't think it wasn't. It was that team.
The head coach. Yeah, the head coach.
It was that team.
But once again, you guys
couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense. Situational football was non-existent. They still can't. They still have no idea how to draw up a red zone play.
Okay, so once again, that can easily change with coaching.
Herbert's still better.
Now, I said that those two can easily swap with coaching. I have said that. But right now, as a situation, I've seen Tua do it with both bad coaching and with good coaching. I haven't seen Herbert do it with bad coaching. I would love to see him do it with good coaching.
If you just spitball, you don't have to go through everybody. Where would you rank quarterback Tua as a quarterback? Not this year. The entire landscape.
The entire landscape.
Just give me a number. Just give me a number.
Wait, I have to give you who I have above.
No, you don't.
I have Mahomes above him. I have Herbert. I have Burrow. I have Lamar. Allen. Hurts.
Kyler.
I don't have Kyler over him.
Jeez.
I don't. Kyler's a head case. Am I wrong?
He's allowed to be a head case. He's freaking good at football.
He's good at football, but he's a head case, which brings us
to the mean little toddler.
But if you're asking me who I'd rather have my team,
you can be a head case as long as you put results, and he was until Cliff Kingsbury decided to forget how to coach.
So, anyways, I would
Tom Brady.
I would not have Tom Brady right now.
Derek Carr is in that tier.
I would put Derek Carr.
It's just the way I had to say, Russell Wilson.
Derek Carr, I would put just below Tua, and they're like right there with each other in the 7 to 8, 10 range. Like
you say, Tua's between 7 and 10.
7 and 10. I just gave you 6 quarterbacks that I thought were better. You honestly would take.
I'm just kidding.
Zach Wilson.
If you want
Trevor Lawrence. Actually Trevor Lawrence, yes.
Trevor Lawrence is playing pretty good.
Trevor Lawrence is playing fantastic.
I'd take Trevor Lawrence definitely over Tua.
This year, I haven't seen it. Now, last year he had absolutely bad coaching. He had bad coaching last year.
Not bad.
He had bad coaching last year, but we saw what Trevor Lawrence can do with a good running game, and we've seen him kind of with a bad running game the last couple games do pretty well. Now, obviously, his weapons aren't as good as Tyreek and Waddle. Christian Kirk is playing really good.
I think I have Tua at 13.
No, and that's fair.
Herbert, Burrow, Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, Kyler.
I can't put Brady there this year, bro.
I didn't say this year. I said overall.
I mean, overall, he's the GOAT. But if you're talking about going forward after this year,
I feel like
Tom Brady hasn't elevated
Trevor
his
Lawrence.
team.
He's Tom Brady.
He's Tom Brady, yes, absolutely. But if you don't, he hasn't been able to do it with
Dak
5
Cousins,
stud wide receivers.
Garoppolo when he is healthy.
No, Garoppolo's
yeah. I'm taking Brock Purdy at this point now. The last 2 games, he's proved that he's better than Tua.
They do kind of exact same things.
Yeah, they do.
Obviously,
Purdy's arm is better.
Tua's around 13. Dear Lord, we got so far off. This video is like 25 minutes in. Okay, who's winning?
Buffalo. It's going to be a low-scoring game, though.
What's the score?
17-10.
I'm going to go 17-13 Fins.
See, I don't know what to do.
Buffalo, obviously.
I don't know. So I don't know what to do. Because, I always sit here and say the Dolphins are going to win. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. If I'm just being completely honest, ain't no way we're winning this football game.
I just think Buffalo has...
Bro, I think you're a little too concerned about the weather.
And also the Bills are very good at football.
The Bills are very good at football.
No. I'm not done with my speech. So, the Bills are very good at football, as they cuddle over there off camera. Bills are very good at... That's why I picked the keyboard. Joe, what are you doing? Joe!
Sorry. Not happy and excited.
Bills are very good at football. Noodle arm. It's cold.
If he says noodle arm one more time, I'm throwing something at him.
It's actually his nickname is officially Tua Noodle Arm McGee.
That
was unnecessary.
That was very necessary.
It's cold. We've kind of been getting figured out. We can't run the ball. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and I'm going to say the Bills are going to win. I'm going to call it, I think it is a low-scoring game. I'm going to call it, what'd you say?
17-10.
Dang. Okay, now I have to go different. I'm gonna go 17. We're not
17-9.
I'm going 17-12, and we miss both extra points.
Thing is, I can't argue that.
He goes over 2 on field goals, and he goes over 2 on extra points. Jason Sanders.
I just think
If he does that, I hope he's cut Monday or Sunday. I hope he's cut.
Jason
Bro, where's
Sanders.
the muff? Oh, there it is.
If Jason Sanders misses 2 extra points and 2 field goals in this game, and they're not over 55-yard field goals,
Russell Wilson's out this week.
Russell
Wilson's out.
Wilson is out because of concussion. You're seeing a lot more that concussions are forcing people to miss at least 1 week, sometimes 2 in Joe Mixon's case.
I hope the Dolphins win. They're probably not.